Thank you, Honourable Speaker, sir. And I thank the Honourable Goin for his question. Honourable Speaker, sir, in times of crisis and economic strife, the cooperative model of business is actually, which essentially entails pooling our best resources, be it our human resources, finance, infrastructure, or equipment. It can be a solution towards establishing commercially viable income-generating businesses. This is especially relevant to the rural and the grassroots communities, Honourable Speaker, sir. And we currently have more than about 400 or so cooperatives which continue to increase on a weekly basis through new registrations. And this is a very positive thing. And they can be found in all the divisions, even at some of the most remote places in Fiji, sir. I'm happy to report, sir, that the cooperative industry has more than $132 million worth in assets and was able to earn about $17.7 million in revenue despite the current economic situation. So these are good numbers, and we can only get better. So today we have close to 25,000 Fijians who are actually members of cooperatives. What we must also remember, sir, is the functioning of cooperatives is actually based on 6 key values of self-help, self-responsibility, democracy, equality, equity, and solidarity. So, cooperates at the moment operating through so many different sectors, and it's not limited to wholesale, retail, agriculture, fisheries, services, financial, transport, and real estate. Mr. Speaker, sir, given our Pacific way of life and our way of communal living, these cooperative business models are very much suited to the way we actually live. In Fiji, there's a minimum requirement of 10 people to form a cooperative, and it's recognized as a legal entity, and automatically brings its natural benefits, such as being able to access finance, entering into contracts, etc., and transparency and training, to name a few. A number of cooperatives, Honourable Speaker, sir, have been able to access government livelihood programs. For example, through the Ministry, more than 25 odd cooperatives have been assisted through various grassroots grant programs, and specifically talking about the Human Resources Development Program, the National Export Strategy, and the MSME concessional loans, which amount to close to about 1.4 million. Just last week, sir, unfortunately I wasn't able to go, but the team has actually returned from Yadata Island after handing over a boat engine and a solar freezer to a cooperative in Yadata, sir, as part of their income generation aspirations. The Department of Cooperative has been working closely also, just to fortify what I mentioned earlier, so we're working closely with resource-based ministries such as the Ministry for Agriculture, Ministry for Fisheries, Ministry for Forestry and Sugar, and development partners also to form cooperatives. So, Honourable Speaker, sir, due to the actual structure of these cooperatives, they are able to access these livelihood programs under other ministries as well as donor agency support. And for example, through various farm mechanization programs with the Ministry of Agriculture, cooperatives are able to receive tractors, etc., and rice harvesters on a 1/3, 2/3 basis. Additionally, sir, you'll notice in the sugarcane belt areas, if you've ventured that way a little while ago, a boom in sugarcane harvesters. Most of these harvesters are actually owned by cooperatives, and the Ministry of Sugar introduced a government grant for the purchase of these sugarcane harvesters a few years ago, whereby they would give $90,000 as grants to cooperatives who would use this grant as equity funding with the Fijian Development Bank to obtain a loan in order to purchase sugarcane harvesters. Mr. Speaker, sir, we're actually seeing this today because the government has actually placed a strong emphasis on service and value addition and resource-based cooperatives rather than just a simple consumer store. So I'm not claiming that the cooperatives are actually a panacea to all our businesses and entrepreneurship aspirations, but it's a model that the ministry actively promotes to empower the grassroots community and the right to economic participation, which is guaranteed under the Constitution, sir. I think when I answered Honourable Kurundrani a little earlier, sir, that answered the question that we collaborate with all ministries. and we don't specifically go out and just look at one community. In the whole of Fiji, in every single ministry, we do collaborate with them. As you would know this also, sir, that in terms of the representation in the cooperative population, quite a few of them are actually based in the rural areas, and that means there's a whole lot more Itoke people involved in it. It's not about selectively looking at one particular community. We serve everybody, but just by numbers, at the end of the day, there are more, because there's a village setting, etc., there are a whole lot of cooperatives that have a whole lot more. But yes, you answer to collaboration, we collaborate with all the ministries.
Thank you. We'll move on. Honourable members, that brings